All right, go ahead and say your name and spell it out for the camera and your job title.
Captain Jeremy Christensen, Christensen, and I am the captain of the Criminal Investigations Section for the Omaha Police Department.
All right, so obviously we've had just a rash of homicides within the past week. Um, as a captain with the police department, just how frustrating is that?
Well, obviously any homicide is frustrating for us because always one is too many as far as the police department goes. But the workload involved in things of that nature, it can be frustrating, it can be taxing, but this isn't the norm for Omaha. As Chief Schmatter said, this has been a spike for the Omaha. It's not a trend. So we are still very encouraged by the numbers we're seeing on the year in the aggregate. And, these things happen in a city of our size. So we're prepared for it. We plan for it, broad plans. And then when we do experience these types of anomalies, we can put our plan into action.
Extra patrol, more officers out in the area. What is the game plan?
Well, so we've done a couple things. Obviously, there are more people being moved into the higher crime areas, more directed patrols. We are increasing the numbers in our gang unit on a temporary basis for as long as they need to be bumped up. The investigations obviously are going quite well. We've solved out of the 4 homicides we've solved 3. One of those is a double. So out of 5 homicide victims, we will be able to clear 4 of those homicide victims. So, and our numbers are looking really good, even factoring in the spike. So I think strategically we're in a very good place with the police department.
These homicides that we've seen, is there any connection at all to the rash of stolen Kias and Hyundais? Any connection there?
We did have, there was a stolen Kia involved in our most recent homicide. Obviously, we're still investigating that. That one is very, very recent, so we're in the early stages of the investigation. But obviously, that's the recent increases in the Kias and the Hyundais being stolen are concerning to us.
No. I did see that the police department, and I have seen that the police department is quite active with Omaha 360. What have those conversations been like? Trying to make sure that Omaha is as safe as it can be.
They've been extremely, extremely positive. I think that's the one thing over 22 years being a police officer here in Omaha. The community engagement and the community involvement at this stage has, in my opinion, never been better. We don't rest on our accomplishments, though. That's a relationship that always needs to be fostered and nurtured. But really the transparency on the part of the police department and also the engagement with the community is making for a very productive, great partnership. So, we're excited about that, and that's the way it should be.
So, as the chief said, this is, crimes have been down. This is just kind of, just not a spike that we've seen for a while. Is that kind of what I understand?
Yeah, I mean, really, when you look at it, it's an anomaly. If context, I think before this recent spat of violence, we had, I think it was 12 homicides on the year, which show me a city of this size in the nation that has those numbers. I think those cities would love to have our numbers. They would love to have our clearance rates. Obviously, like I said, it's not good enough for us. We always try and do better. We always try and improve ourselves. But contextually, this is not the norm for Omaha. But, these things happen and we plan for them. We strategize for them when they're not happening. And then when they do happen, we can leverage our resources and put our strategic plan into place. But on the whole, for the year, we feel really good about it, but there's always more work to be done and there's always improvement to be had. So, but yeah, I mean, these things happen. We don't like them to happen, but again, we're pretty encouraged with the way the year is going.